A top fast food chain is blaming its drop in sales.
We've been hearing from a lot of fast food giants recently, including Wendy's, KFC, Pizza Hut, and Popeyes, who all say same-store sales were down.
Imagine walking into a glowing McDonald's at midnight, yet the seats are empty, fries taste off, and burgers sit untouched. What was once comfort food now feels like a warning. And it's not just McDonald's. From Portland to Miami, the brands that shaped childhood memories are being abandoned by Canada, America's closest neighbor. This isn't about dinner. It's about billions in lost revenue, shuttered small businesses, and a cultural bond breaking in real time. If Canadians are turning their backs on U.S. brands, how long before the rest of the world follows? Today, we count down 7 American giants, losing their grip faster than anyone expected. Let's break it down in today's video. Note, this video is an independent analysis based on public sources. It does not represent any organization or political stance. We encourage you to think critically and share your thoughts in the comments. 1. McDonald's. Once a symbol of global trust and American strength, McDonald's USA is now becoming a cautionary tale of decline. For Canadians, the golden arches no longer represent consistency or quality. They symbolize corporate greed, failing institutions, and misplaced priorities. Over the past year, Canadian spending at U.S. McDonald's has dropped 29%. This isn't just about bad fries. It's about a loss of faith in American corporate values. The contrast is striking. McDonald's Canada invests in better ingredients, sustainability, and worker welfare. In the U.S., cost-cutting and shareholder returns come first. The difference is clear in every bite. Canadian fries are crisp and fresh, while American ones often taste artificial, the result of shortcuts that would be illegal in Canada. But the issue goes far beyond food. Supporting U.S. McDonald's means funding corporate lobbying against Canadian interests, while American franchises often operate in dirty, poorly maintained stores that mirror broader U.S. infrastructure decline. Workers face low wages, no benefits, and little job security, practices that clash with Canadian social values. Even the infamous broken ice cream machines have become a metaphor for American corporate failure. Environmental responsibility tells the same story. Canadian locations push for waste reduction and sustainability, while U.S. operations lag behind, ignoring climate-conscious consumers. Technology, too, is outdated. Canadian McDonald's offers smooth digital ordering and better customer experience, while many American outlets fall short. The brand that once promised global consistency now delivers chaos. From pricing strategies that feel exploitative to poorly made coffee and failed menu rollouts, U.S. McDonald's is losing credibility. Viral TikTok comparisons only confirm what Canadians already know. The American version no longer measures up. Even marketing feels off. What once symbolized inclusive American soft power now leans into nationalism and political messaging that alienates international customers. For Canadians, every Big Mac purchased in the U.S. feels less like fast food and more like endorsing decline. The Golden Arches once stood for American innovation and reliability. Today, they warn of corporate dysfunction and fading trust. Canadians are walking away, choosing brands that reflect their values and communities. McDonald's USA isn't just losing customers, it's losing its legacy. 2. Subway. Once a quick stop for travelers, Subway has become a symbol of everything Canadians now reject about American corporate culture. The chain's Eat Fresh slogan rings hollow as consumers grow weary of hypocrisy, poor quality, and cultural insensitivity. A stunning 42% drop in cross-border Canadian sales proves it's not just about bread and meat. It's about values. And the bread tells the story best. What should be the foundation of every sandwich feels more like dessert. Soft, overly processed, and packed with additives. Canadian visitors complain it tastes like cake, not a proper roll. But the issue runs deeper than food quality. While Subway markets freshness, many of its ingredients travel thousands of miles from industrial farms, clashing with Canada's commitment to local, sustainable agriculture. Labor practices only add fuel to the fire. Reports of wage theft, poor working conditions, and union busting at U.S. Subway locations clash with Canadian values. Supporting these franchises feels like endorsing exploitation. The difference is visible. A viral side-by-side photo comparing sandwiches from Alberta and Detroit showed the Canadian version fresh and appetizing, while the US one looked sad, sloppy, and cheap. The divide keeps growing. In 2024, many American subways failed health inspections, cut corners, and downsized portions, while Canadian locations improved standards and presentation. Environmental concerns deepen the backlash. Packaging waste, industrial farming, and expansion-focused policies collide with Canada's eco-consciousness. Add in tone-deaf marketing that ignores Indigenous and low-income food access issues, and Subway alienates even more Canadians. Price hikes seal its fate. The legendary $5 footlong is now a $15 disappointment. Hardly worth it when local sandwich shops deliver fresher ingredients, creative menus, and community support. Untrained staff, slow service, and inconsistent quality across U.S. locations reinforce perceptions of American decline. For many Canadians, U.S. Subway franchises now symbolize corporate greed disguised as convenience. Profit before people. Marketing before reality. Once a road trip staple, it's now a chain buried under controversy, inconsistency, and distrust. 3. Panda Express. Once a fun road trip stop, it now tastes like sugar disguised as stir-fry. For many Canadians, the bitter aftertaste isn't just from artificial flavoring, it's politics. As trade tensions rose, Canadians began questioning every dollar spent on U.S. chains. Panda Express, with its mass-produced Asian fusion, became an easy target. Data from early 2025 shows a 41% drop in Canadian spending at U.S. Panda Express locations, especially in border malls and rest stops. But this isn't only about soggy noodles and syrupy orange chicken. It's about cultural respect. Many see Panda Express as commodifying Asian culture while giving nothing back to local communities. One Vancouver couple's viral video titled, "Canada Deserves Better Than Corporate Colonialism," captured the mood perfectly. Comments flooded in, "Why fund corporations lobbying against Canadian workers?" Or "Every dollar at Panda Express is a vote for trade wars." Canada's Asian food scene makes the contrast even sharper. In cities like Toronto, Calgary, and Montreal, authentic immigrant-owned restaurants thrive. Fresh wok flavor, real ingredients, and deep cultural roots. Social media amplifies this divide, with influencers praising local spots while calling Panda Express the culinary equivalent of diplomatic insensitivity served on a plastic plate. Pricing adds fuel to the fire. What used to be an affordable meal now costs nearly as much as authentic alternatives, without supporting communities. For Canadians, Panda Express represents corporate arrogance more than convenience. And if artificial Chinese food is losing its charm, another American classic proves that sweet nostalgia can't outweigh political bitterness. 4. Dairy Queen. Nostalgia only goes so far when every blizzard feels like funding policies that hurt your home country. Once a childhood treat, U.S. Dairy Queen now feels like a political statement, and not a welcome one. Franchise insiders report a 35% drop in Canadian spending at U.S. Dairy Queen locations over the past year. The difference? Canadian DQs embraced living wages, sustainability, and community ties. U.S. locations, meanwhile, cut corners, leaving customers with sticky tables, half-melted ice cream, and indifference. A Quebec family's viral TikTok summed it up. Melted cones, broken equipment, and a shrugging manager. The comments hit harder than the video. This is what happens when corporations put shareholders over communities. Environmental values also play a role. Canadians prefer businesses with sustainable practices, while U.S. DQs still rely on plastic packaging, processed ingredients, and wasteful portions. Local artisanal ice cream shops, organic, fair trade, community-driven, are thriving in contrast. The result? For many Canadians, every $20 spent at U.S. Dairy Queen feels like money drained from their own economy. And when nostalgia collides with political baggage, nostalgia loses. But next up, we move to a steakhouse chain that once promised adventure, yet now delivers overpriced disappointment wrapped in outdated American stereotypes. 5. TGI Fridays. Walk into a TGI Fridays today, and you don't find festive American hospitality. You find a relic. Once marketed as fun and casual, it now feels like a corporate museum piece, completely out of step with Canadian values. The menu itself reflects the problem. Stuck in the past, overloaded with frozen foods, massive portions, and artificial ingredients, it mirrors consumption habits that drive health and environmental crises. Canadians see not comfort food, but waste. The atmosphere doesn't help. Forced enthusiasm, corporate-mandated fun, and flashy branding feel manipulative, not welcoming. Canadians who value genuine, community-centered dining experiences view it as hollow, even dystopian. Labor controversies add another layer. Wage theft, harassment, and minimal benefits at U.S. locations make supporting Fridays feel like endorsing exploitation. Meanwhile, overpriced meals, often over $80 for two people, leave Canadians asking why they should spend more for worse food than they'd get at a local restaurant that supports their community. The brand's obsession with American nationalism also creates discomfort abroad. Patriotic promotions, flag-heavy decor, and subtle political messaging clash with international visitors who simply want a meal, not a statement. Environmental waste, single-use plastics, industrial sourcing, and high-energy operations further push Canadians away. Cultural appropriation in marketing only worsens its image. Borrowing international themes as decoration, without respect or authenticity, feels exploitative to many Canadians. Meanwhile, local restaurants evolve, adapting to consumer preferences with fresh ingredients, cultural inclusivity, and sustainability, while Fridays remains frozen in outdated business models. And the timing couldn't be worse. As trade tensions rise and Canadians grow more conscious of where their money goes, eating at TGI Fridays feels like funding an American system they oppose. What once felt festive now feels fake. For Canadian travelers, TGI Fridays represents the very culture they reject. Outdated, wasteful, exploitative, and tone-deaf. They're leaving it behind in favor of restaurants that reflect their values: authenticity, sustainability, fairness, and respect. This was just the beginning. Hit that subscribe button and buckle up. Digital Garage has so much more in store.